Yeah, so just giving God the glory for 24-2. Proud of being able to go on the road in the Southeastern Conference and win on what was probably our worst night. We haven't played that bad in a long time. Yet still, you can go in there and be up 20 in the second half and win on the road by double digits. So proud of our fans that made that place a great atmosphere, as they always do over there. Love taking our team on the road in this state, and we always have tremendous support, whether it's in Hattiesburg or on the coast or Jackson or even up there. So it was great to see everyone in maroon, and again, just finding a way to win on the road when you don't play well. And so I'll be anxious to see them today. I'm sure we got a couple kids that are pretty sore, and we'll have to get ready for what I think is a tremendous team in Vanderbilt. Stephanie's doing a great job with them. They've just consistently gotten better throughout the season, and we'll have a big challenge on our hands Sunday, but I know we'll have a great crowd. I'm hopeful we'll have 10,000 in there for what's, we got 2 games left for our seniors here at home, and I'm hopeful we'll have a great crowd for them Sunday at 1 o'clock against Vanderbilt. So.
It seems like you kind of had the same post-game speech, or I guess persona, after the Ole Miss game last year. Did you take any parallels from that game there last year, kind of how y'all played last night?
Well, I think last year we got up 20 at half, and then we just played dead even with them the second half, and really struggled offensively. If I remember right, I think Victoria was shooting a bunch of jump shots and couldn't get them to go to the rim, and it was kind of like last night. We just we really, in my mind, accommodated them on and took the shots they wanted us to take instead of the shots that we needed to make and be patient and get. And I think when we were patient, we got what we wanted. But when we weren't, it's just, it's hard to get, it's hard to get things going sometimes on offense when they're kind of doing their deal instead of doing our deal. And again, that's kind of been the challenge with this team is, getting to play together, make extra passes. Don't take a good shot, take a great shot. Don't take a shot early in the shot clock that you can get with 8 seconds on the clock. You might be able to get a better one. And I think that's the education piece. Again, y'all have to understand we got 2 kids in our starting lineup that have not ever been in our program. Not to mention 4 new starters. That's why what Jazz is doing as our point guard is off the chart. There's not another point guard in the country doing what she's doing statistically, and she's doing it with a new team. And it's that's our challenge right now with these kids is just getting the chemistry piece right. We just didn't have very much chemistry last night.
How have you seen Maya kind of grow and mature as the season has kind of gone on? Kind of getting her feet wet at the beginning of the year to where she's at now, where she can play some meaningful minutes for you.
Yeah, she's worked at it. She's getting a better understanding of her role as a point guard in college versus her role as the best player on her high school team, and so she's a confident kid, which you need to have confidence if you're going to be successful in this league. You better have confidence, and so she's doing a good job for us. She's gotten better, and I think that's the key with any team, any player. You got to keep working and you got to get better, and I think she's gotten better, and she's very reliable, and she's come in now and done a good job. Played really well at A&M the other night. She did a good job last night.
You said last night that the defense was miserable, I think is the word you used. Was that just because of Allen was doing what she was doing, or did you think the whole thing as a whole was off?
Yeah, I didn't like our what appeared to me to be our mindset defensively. We're so inconsistent. I mean, how can you go to LSU, hold them to what we did in the first half there, first quarter, first half, and yet the same team with the same 4 seniors can come out and play as disinterested as we were last night, as unphysical, technique, just had really poor technique. Just didn't have the locked-in focus that we've shown in games past. So that's this team's been really inconsistent in a lot of areas this year, and yet we're 24-2. And I think that's why I say this team has more potential than probably any team I've ever had. Because if I can ever get it all figured out, man, they could really be good and dominant. But it's just a work in progress. That's all I can tell you. We just keep working with them. We're not giving up. We're going to keep pressing on, and until we can get it right.
You said that a few times about can they unlock that potential? Only a couple games left during the regular season, and the postseason play begins. Do you feel like you're getting closer to unlocking that potential when you see them in practice?
No, not really. It just some nights are better than others, I think would be fair. And again, I just know that when I look at them, I know what we possibly could be. And as I've said before, the only people that can beat us, to me, is ourselves. We're the only people that can stand in our way of being successful and being victorious. And so, as a coach, that's our job. My job is to get them from point A to point B, not only in basketball, but in life. And I'm trying to get them from being some individuals that are really talented to being a good team, because a team will beat a bunch of individuals every night. And so if I can get these individuals to play as a team and play together and get them to make that transformation, then we've got a chance to be really, really good. And that's what a coach is. A coach goes back to the 1500s in England. A coach transported people from one place to another. That's where the term coach originally came. Well, that's my job as a coach. I got to transport them from young adults to being adults ready for the real world. I got to transport them from being really good players in high school to being really good players playing on a team, playing cohesively in college. And that's the challenge for every player that comes from high school. They're always the best player on their high school team, and they could get away with doing things individually, because if they didn't, their team wouldn't win. Well, here it's not the case. We've got a bunch of really good players, and you don't have to, some of the things you do here, that's your role. It's going to be different. Before you can be the it player, sometimes you got to be the role player. And so that's my challenge as a coach. I've got to do that. And I'm going to do it till the very end. I'm going to fight it. And because if I can ever get them all together and playing together, y'all saw me the one time I got excited last night. What was it? Anybody remember?
Tierra's pass.
Dang right. I got more excited about Tierra getting triple teamed and finding Anriel for a backside dunk than anything we did all night, because that was, to me, the epitome of a team. That was her reading the defense, understanding who was open, and making that decision. I need that. I need all of our kids to understand that piece, because when you're doing that as a team, you got that. Last year, it's what made last year's team so special. They knew who was open before they got the pass that led to the pass that got them the wide open shot. That's what made them so unique. Victoria learned to enjoy the assist as much as the basket, whereas when she was a freshman, she didn't know what an assist was. She learned to enjoy the assist as much as the basket. Roe, Blair, they all had that mentality. Morgan, they all had that mentality. Jazz had that mentality. She knew where to find Blair in that left-hand corner. That's my challenge with this team.
Okay, anything else for Coach? No? Thank you, Coach. We'll get Jeff.